Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back. We're doing some more English haunting today. Oh boy. I know we took a little bit of a break from this one because Slender Threads kind of ate my brain there for the entire 3 days it took to beat it. Fantastic game. Please go check it out. But now we are back to a good old-fashioned point and click. Which means I'm back to voice acting. Oh boy. Alright, so we are still trying to make the super ghost hunting machine. And I think I have a couple of ideas on what we do next. Oh, that's right. I did that quiz thing, which I actually managed to answer all the questions right, though the very last one, I do have to confess, was pure guess, because the book it was asking about is not a real book. It was written for this. But this game is so full of classic horror references, and only one name on that list was in any way a horror reference. So I figured that was probably the answer. And it was. So, alright, let's check our items. Oh yeah, we got these, the marbles. I'm pretty sure we go stick them in that corpse so that they're eyes. It's pretty much the only thing I know what to do with right now. What's this? What's this place? Oh, yes, we were just here. We talked to this guy, I believe. The restoration guy. Yes, hello, restoration man. Oh, yeah, and we can interact with all of these things. Oh, I wonder. Because unless Mr. What's-His-Face there had some serious eye trauma going on, his eyes probably weren't shiny white globes. I mean, you never know. Let's see if this works. Oh, no, he's mad at us. What are you going to do? I want to paint these marbles. Let me see them. They're marble. They remind me of blank eyes. That's the point. I have an idea. Give me some space. Let's see. Forgot I had to talk to them for a minute. There you go. Oh god, those do look like eyes. Wow, they're very realistic eyes. I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, I do not remember what voice I gave this guy, so that's what he sounds like now. Okay, so we have eyes now. So let's go back to the photo studio. Oh, wait, I'm going down an alley? Why am I in an alley? Oh, okay, I'm leaving. So I have to say, Patrick, what are you doing, buddy? Okay, the Eugene Wood Photo Studio. Yes, here we are. Alright, look, I've got eyes. Are those marble eyes for our brother? They will work. Oh, okay. No, put him in the dead guy. Things you don't expect to be saying. Oh, wow, he does look better now. He looks better now. Excuse me, but... Yes? I appreciate the attention, but Bertram had green eyes. Don't worry about that, Miss Perkins. As you know, the photograph is in black and white. You will hardly notice the difference. Trust me. Yes, I will. You seem to know what you're doing. Right. So we take a picture for him? Oh, everything is set for your brother to be immortalized. One moment. Here you are, dear brother. These were your favorites. Proceed. Very well, here we go. Good heavens! Bertram! Heavens, what is happening? Composure, ladies. It is nothing more than the sign of Lazarus. And what does that signify? Among other phenomena, involuntary muscular movements post-mortem. Your brother remains in repose, if such was your concern. Very well, let us attempt once more. Done. All that's left is velvet, but I can't help you with that. Oh, do not worry. Presumably Mr. Wood shall eminently grace us with his presence. The crucial aspect in the photograph's capture, thus enabling us to inter our dear Bertram in serenity. We extend our sincerest gratitude for your kindness, sir. It has been a pleasure. Ooh, can I have the flowers? But do you mind if I keep the bouquet of violets? Our desire was to lay them to rest with them. No, that was your wish. You may keep the bouquet, sir. Bouquet, sir! For anyone else who's a fan of keeping up appearances. Alright, so now we have those flowers. So, where it's the docks, I do believe? Yes! This guy asked if we had the thing. We got the thing. Are you an admirer, or do you come to bring the lucky charm? Yes, here it is. Let me see it. Violets! They arrived! You just saved our lives! Come in! It's fortunate that you've come! Excuse me? There are rumours that Walter Black's manager had paid off the owner of the Wild Orchid to stop supplying bouquets of violets to the champion. And as you know, if one round doesn't enter the ring with that bouquet, he wouldn't be fit to fight. In that case, the fight would be declared in favour of Black. Really? I beg your pardon? It would be a disgrace if Black were declared the winner because the flowers weren't delivered. Oh, indeed, certainly. You can leave a great by the lantern. Why is the bouquet of violets so important to one round? His mother gave him a bouquet of her favourite flowers on the day of his first fight. That very night, before he entered the ring, he learned of her passing. When he was declared the winner of the fight, he believed it was his mother's flowers and acted as a lucky charm. It's as simple as that. If he doesn't enter the ring with the bouquet, he believes he'll lose. Well, that's never been the case. Isn't that right, chum? He's focused. Well, as I mentioned, you've saved our skins. Till the match begins, you can stay here and admire the champion if you wish. Shouldn't have given him those flowers. Go on, champ. Give the bag a good wallop, like it's your opponent's mug. Alright. Okay, and this is actually based in a real historic thing. There was a boxer with a very similar actual story about his lucky charm and his mother and all of that. So we continue to see this game drawing just directly from history in ways I don't think I have ever seen another point-and-click do. Alright, let's see what we got here. Tray with food. There's a tray with enough food to feed 3 people. It looks like a mix of mashed potatoes with beans, cabbage, and bacon. What's for the chump? He'll devour everything on that tray before stepping into the ring. Are you telling me he's going to wolf down all that food before the fight? Won't he feel heavy? I don't know much about boxing, but I think that would be counterproductive. Are you kidding? 1 round's a stomach of steel. Really? Oh, I think I might have an idea, but let's look at what we have available in here. This is from last year. It advertised a fight between One Round Jack and Samuel Cribb. I would not like to be in Walter Black's shoes. First Kid Butcher. door. It's securely locked.
That leads to the roof. Why do you want to go up there? It's just some pigeon crap.
Well, we're a point-and-click protagonist, so we might have a use for soot and pigeon crap. You never know. They just let me walk in there? Okay. The crowd is getting impatient. Okay, but I think we use this jar of nasty rotten eggs on the tray of food. Oh ho! Ah, no, I cannot open this jar. The mold on the lid has solidified so much that I don't have the strength to open it. But we know who has the strength, don't we? University wrestling jock boy whose name I forget. So we're gonna go see him. We're actually going back to the university. Lots of revisiting places in this one. When it does, it's consistent with its use of little textual cues in descriptions and commentary. Like the specific use of saying strength. When every conversation we've had about this guy, Tom Lee, that's who it is, has been like, I'm strong, why won't the coach let me wrestle? I'm so strong, look at my strength. So here you go, you want to prove your strength, buddy? Mr. Lee? Yes? You are quite strong, aren't you? The strongest in the university. Would you like to test it? I'd love to. See if you can open this jar. Jar? Sometimes they are tough to open, right? Not for me. Just don't smell it. Easy peasy. Thank you very much for your strength. It's been a pleasure, Professor. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll continue admiring this lovely collection of trophies. All right, now we have an open thing of nasty eggs. Back in we go. Yeah, it's me again. Let me in.
Oh, it's you. Come in.
Right. Bon appetit, one round. I'm very sorry about this, sir.
All right. Chap, get ready. I think it's time.
Is the fight starting?
Yes, although we need to eat something first. Would you like to watch the fight with me?
Yes, I think it will be interesting.
It'll be epic.
No, it won't, because we just poisoned one of the fighters.
What a bloody fight! Short of a fart in a windstorm. And not a bugger in the crowd can bloody believe it. One round must have shot himself with that kilo of grub before getting in the ring. Did you see how he kept grabbing his gut from the get-go? Black obviously saw that and went straight for his bloody stomach with a solid hook. Knocked him on his arse right quick. One round couldn't get back up. That might be the start of one round black, isn't it? I reckon I'll have to think twice before betting on the champ again. Couldn't agree more, I wasted all my wages on this bet. I couldn't agree more, I wasted all my wages on this bet. Fancy a swig at the dive later? I'll be there.
Yay! Our fighter won! Now we have the money to pay off the photographer's debt, to get whatever it was we needed from the photographer. This started so long ago, I don't even remember what piece of the ghost machine we need. Some photography thing. Hey, Baker, here's my slip. I am here to collect this.
Let me see. Well. So you're the fool that bet on Walter Black, eh? Tell me, do you know something we didn't?
I beg your pardon?
Who would bet against one round Jack if they didn't know he was going to lose?
What are you implying?
I ain't implying nothing. Just thinking out loud. We're the ones who rigged the fights, and believe me, this one wasn't. You won the bet fair and square. I'll fetch your money. We did not win fair and square. Lucky bastard. Here's your money. £1,000.
Just the money I need.
Yeah, doesn't it? Who doesn't need a grand these days?
Who doesn't need a grand any days?
Wow. Right. Now, we go back. Where is that? St. Giles? The workshop, the docks. Okay, I think it's St. Giles Street. Oh, yes, here we are. Hey, thanks for the gross eggs. They help me make the money you need. I think we got everything from in here, so we're just, yeah, hey, Killian, I'll go see the guy. Put the money in.
Yes, I carry it here with me.
Let's see, buddy. Some more. I suppose your presence means you're here to give me some joy.
Indeed. Here is your money. £1,000. You can count it.
I reckon he understood we shouldn't be messing with me, so I take your word for it, Mr. Moore.
And let me say, I'm pleasantly surprised.
See that? Take a lesson from him. Damn it, I ought to fire your lot and keep Mr. Moore for myself. He's got the makings of a good employee. Kept your word. Now I'll be keeping mine. It'll please you to know Mr. Wood's hardly scratched. You're lucky Brian takes his time. Good for you, but I ain't sure if it's been good for me. Killian? Have Mr. Wood released. Right away. It was a pleasure doing business with you, Moore. By the way, keep the envelope. Oh yeah, we got an envelope. Can I help you with anything else? No, that's enough. Alright, been a pleasure. I'll go see Mr. Wood and give him my regards. Then I'm almost forgotten. Alright, I'm assuming... Oh, yep, nope, I didn't need anything else in there because that location has vanished. And this is not, to the extent of my knowledge, a game that can soft lock you out. Okay, so, to the photo studio.
Hello? Mr. Wood?
Oh, welcome! Your face looks familiar. Do I know you? Yes, you were here from before when...
Yes, when you were taken away. I'm also the one who saved your skin.
You paid off the debt?
Indeed.
Good heavens! You saved my life! I don't know how to thank you. Ask her anything you want. Except money.
May I ask you a question?
Of course.
Do you know Professor Ward?
I somewhat to see him at the university where he works. He said to get in touch with me, but he hasn't shown up here.
Did you talk about a certain photographic plate?
Yes. How do you know about that?
I'm his colleague. Professor Ward is absent.
Did he mention my case to you?
No, I hope you'll fill me in on this matter.
You see, this job is not as profitable as it was a few years ago. Having a photographic memento of loved ones is no longer socially acceptable. Some even consider it in poor taste. I don't blame them. I'm aware of the controversy surrounding my work. When the clientele started to dry up, I had to optimize resources. I got photographic plates at a very good price through a contact. It was a surplus from Rainier. As soon as I used them for my photographs... wait a moment, I'll show them to you. Where? Oh, yes, here. Take a look at these. They were taken with plates I'm talking about. My voice won't stay solid. I cannot keep an accent for that guy. Oh, Lord. Oh, it's just a baby. No, it's not. That is not just a baby. I'm sorry you have to see these photographs. Look at those spots around the child. At first I thought they were dust specks near the lens. Sometimes it happens. Go to the next page, please.
See, those are not dust specks. Whoops. Excuse me. That's what this phenomenon is called. Once it's been ruled out that they're particles in suspension or dirt on the lens. For the previous photo, I made sure to thoroughly clean the lens to keep the studio even cleaner. Tell me, what are all these things? There are several hypotheses, but the most common is that they are sources of energy. Kind of energy. Energy of a supernatural nature. Oh, what? Turn to the next page. It is psychic energy, undoubtedly. You see these shapes were in the photo shoot. No, there was nothing there. Nor did I see them through the lens. Are you aware that you've captured a ghost on film, Mr. Wood? You don't say! To the last page. Yeah. It's ghost, isn't it? Definitely. It's a corporeal manifestation. There's no doubt about it. This is wonderful. Wonderful, you say? This is eerie, sir. Are you saying there are ghosts in my studio? In your studio, in your neighbors' homes, and even in the private quarters of Pope Pius X in the Vatican. The immaterial world we don't see, may be as populated as our own plane of existence. It's one of the hypotheses I work with. And I'm sorry to say, but if there's a place that attracts these poor souls, it's your studio. Remember, you photographed death. Damn it! Don't worry. These manifestations only occur with those photographic plates you told me about, right? Yeah, only with those. Well, what else can you tell me about these plates? Origin, to whom did they belong? Only what I've told you. I contacted both of them from Romania, but I don't know anything else. He might have more information. Do you want me to call him? It won't be necessary for now. What is important is that for some specific reason, these plates are sensitive to the immaterial world. That's why Professor Ward was interested in them, as a key piece for Oxford Revelations. I beg your pardon? Oh, I was just talking to myself. I was quite frightened when I went to see your colleague looking for an explanation. I also told him I intended to burn the only one iron left because I was terrified to have it in the studio. He said not to touch anything until he showed up here. I suppose you want it, right? If you'd be so kind as to offer it to me, I would gladly accept it. Of course I'll give it to you. I never want to see it again. In fact, keep that album as well. I don't want to hear any more about it. I'm very grateful. Wait here, I'll bring you that plate right now. A sensible man. If I had scary haunted plates, I wouldn't want them either. Here you go. Thank you very much for your help, Mr. Wood. Nothing compared to what you've done for me. I have work to do, so I bid you good afternoon. Hey, sir. Yes? Are you sure I don't have to fear anything from this ghost matter? You shouldn't fear the dead, Mr. Wood. Fear the living. Specifically, guys like Patty. Stay away from them, alright? Alright, so we have a piece of the Box of Revelations. Let's take that back to the workshop. Hello, Beatrice, my silver queen. Beatrice? Fear for the professor. So do I, my friend, so do I. But for the moment, what can we do? Do you have any ideas? Unfortunately, no, I can't think of anything. Let's occupy our minds with this device. Perhaps we can shed some light on the matter while we work. Well, let's work. And here, have this. I have Eugene Wood's photographic plate.
Wonderful!
Why was it so strange, Nelson? It photographs ghosts. That's simple. It's proved. Yes, I have an album of photographs by Eugene Ward taken with several plates from the same series. The one I got was the last. If we discard the frauds, take the ghost photographs as authentic, they all have something in common. The products of chance. Indeed. Spectres have always been the photographer's surprise. A family photo with a floating face, for example. The figure of a lady in a window photographing a building. You remember Campbell's photograph? Yes, the figure seated beside his wife in one of the empty seats on a train heading to Edinburgh. Exactly. Whenever there's been an intentional effort to photograph a ghost, it's been a failure. What peculiarities might this plate have? Perhaps a chemical process that enhances the recording of the beyond? Before assembling the piece, I'd like to subject it to several tests. Good idea. If we can figure out the unique qualities of the plate, we could enhance its effect in the box of revelations. You have read my mind, Patrick. Here you go. We have yet to find Florence Cook's ectoplasm sample and whatever Professor Bennett has in his possession. I'm on it. All right, and I apologize if my headphones are picking up the sound of my door banging. I will be right back after I see about taking care of that. All right, hopefully that took care of the problem. Okay, so we have got the first piece of the box of revelations. Let's have this photograph album full of horrible photos and an envelope. We still have this empty crystal flask, too. All right, so I guess our only option now is to go check out Florence Cook, who, like I said last time, was an actual real person. And everything they said about her so far is true. Oh, here we go.
Florence Cook herself, for example. She was studied by several researchers who certified her as a fraud to the London intellectual elite, several of them affiliated with the Conservative Party. Believe me, Mr. Taylor, when I say that our leaders are not interested in us being aware of the truth. I'm not saying it is a conspiracy, but it is a conspiracy. Well, good afternoon. You're part of the group, I assume.
Excuse me?
The advertisement.
I beg your pardon?
I placed an advertisement in the British Association of Supernatural Studies newsletter seeking people to join me at this cooking session. Only Mr. Morton and Mr. Taylor responded to the call. Tell me, did you also come because of the advertisement? Yes or no?
Yes, of course.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm Joseph Brown.
Patrick Moore.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Moore. You don't have to worry about money. As I mentioned in the advertisement itself, it's all paid for.
I appreciate that.
I hope you don't think Katie King is a fraud, as they have tried to make us believe.
She absolutely was. Well, I suppose we'll soon find out.
Yes, of course, that's the idea. Oh!
Gentlemen, Miss Cook informs me she's ready. Remember to remain silent throughout the session. It's of the utmost importance that no matter what happens, and no matter what you see, you do not leave your seat.
Or you can trip over complicated machinery that's making all this happen.
Will we see Katie King?
I cannot ensure that, but it seems that this evening the medium's spiritual energies are in full swing. So your wish will probably come true.
Fascinating!
If you would be kind enough to join me.
Are you nervous, Mr. Moore?
Oh yes, I am shaking all over.
I can offer you an opiate to calm your nerves. I usually carry with me some for medicinal purposes. But promise me you won't tell anyone.
It won't be necessary. Should we go in?
Yes, of course.
I suppose my niece has informed you of the guidelines to follow during this session. Know that communication with the spirit world is very delicate. Any unexpected event could result in the loss of connection with the beyond. Therefore, allow me to remind you of what you must not forget while the medium is in a trance. You cannot rise from your seat once the session has begun. If Katie King were to manifest, do not speak to her. She cannot see or hear you. You will only communicate through me. She is quite sensitive to what happens in this world, so try not to make any sudden moves. You could get startled and disappear. If you wish to convey a message to her, address it to me. Even while in a trance, I will be able to hear you and transmit your words. Has everyone understood? Any questions or doubts before we begin?
Do we have to put our hands on the table during the session?
You have psychic powers, Mr. Brown.
Really? Oh, no. I don't have any.
Then let the medium be the one to place her hands on the table to channel psychic energies, all right?
Oh, yes, of course.
Let's begin. Katie King, daughter of John King, you who left this life to join the world of the dead, you who have been living in the shadows ever since, I summon you, O wandering spirit, let us witness your presence in this world, which unfortunately you no longer belong. Leave the darkness and join the living. Florence, is that you, Florence?
Oh, amazing!
I am here, Katie King. The sound of my voice will guide you to me. Join us.
Researchers were right. The manifestation emanates the scent of flowers.
I feel life in this place. You are not alone. No, dear. I am accompanied by people who have come to see you. Who are they? I cannot see them, only feel them. Mr. Brown is with me on my right. Opposite me sit Mr. Morton and Mr. Taylor. And finally, Mr. Moore is on my left. Nice to meet you, gentlemen. Katie says she's pleased to meet you.
We can hear her.
Unbelievable. Katie King must be using all her energy to communicate with this reality. Katie. Yes, Florence. My guests inform me that they can hear your voice. That is wonderful. Can I convey a message to them? Of course, dear. You are blessed to live in a world that, while not perfect, is full of wonders. Where I come from, there is nothing. Everything is dark. It's a lonely place. He's dead. Do not waste your lives on conflicts. Avoid problems. Live your lives as if each day was the last.
Who's dead?
Those are very beautiful words, dear. Does anyone wish to ask Katie King a question?
Can I ask a question? No. Aw. I bet Patrick had a question. Yeah, so Katie King was her niece. Or a cousin, but I'm guessing since her niece was here.
Katie King still exists. The session has been a success. We should celebrate.
I know an exquisite restaurant not far from here.
What do you think about going to the Regent Street Smokers Club instead?
Good option, Mr. Morton.
under a brothel that... Mr. Taylor's option! You've heard Katie King. We must live life. Let's get moving, gentlemen.
Yeah, Patrick's gonna wait here. He knows what's up.
The session is over, Mr. Moore. Do you need anything else?
You were Katie King, weren't you?
No, I do not know what you're talking about.
You just had to change clothes and appear from the shadows.
My good sir, I don't know what you're aiming at, and I beg you to leave.
Forgive me, but my intention is not to cause trouble. My name is Patrick Moore. I am a university professor. I am involved in metapsychic research along with my colleague, Nelson Ward.
Oh no, not again. I hoped I would never hear that name again in my life.
I'm confused. Did you have trouble with my colleague?
I will tell you the same thing I told Professor Ward. You will not get the ectoplasm sample at the expense of my uncle's life. So you can...
Enough, Charlotte.
Not Florence,
I said enough. I've made a decision. If you'd be so kind as to step aside, I need to speak with this gentleman. So you work with Professor Ward?
That is correct.
And where is he? We're going to be honest here. I have no idea where he might be. Has he disappeared?
Yes, something like that.
I have taken over his research. If it's all right with you, let's get this conversation in order. My colleague left a note saying you could provide an ectoplasm sample. That is correct. I do not mean to be rude, but I believe he made a mistake in thinking you'd be the right person for that job. Your reputation is questionable, Miss Cook, and what I saw in there confirms it. Forget what you have seen. Anyone except the group you came with would know it's a crude setup, but Professor Nelson has a memory. It is something that is sadly lacking in all those who hear the name Florence Cook for the first time. What do you mean? I have not always been a fraud before. When I was just a teenager, I contacted an entity who called themselves Sergeant Hughes. I managed to materialize ectoplasm through my body, and this entity used it to communicate with me. I thought it was a good way to make a living, and it was for the first few weeks. But with each session, Sergeant Hughes gained more strength to the point of possessing my body. He became more and more violent. His intention was to invade this reality, a reality to which he did not belong. I managed to sever the link, but his last words were a threat, a death threat. It was then that I created Katie King. A contrivance, of course, but safer without risking my life. People didn't care, they were still amazed by the sessions. Since then, there have been several Katie Kings. I was the first, but logically I had to stay young. The latest Katie King, as you have seen, is my niece Charlotte.
You understand now, Mr. Moore? My aunt can't do what you're asking. She could die if she invoked Sergeant Hughes.
I'm sorry I was unaware of all this. It's not my intention to put you in danger. That doesn't matter now. I am sick, Mr. Moore. Very sick. I've been given up on. Doctors have diagnosed that I live no more than 2 months left. I want to do it. I don't want to leave this life without the world knowing that I was never a fraud. So you're in luck. You will have your ectoplasm sample. I believe your niece is right. Invoking that entity could... It is my will, and you must respect it. I want that sample more than anything in this world, but I'm concerned about your safety, and I would like to have a clear conscience. You will. As I said, this is what I want. Mind you, I'm not going to summon the bastard without the presence of William Crookes. Crookes? The scientist who discovered the element thallium? Yes, he did! Among other things, yes. When my name and Katie King's became famous, several researchers wanted to verify the authenticity of the phenomenon. One of them was a promising scientist and a member of the Royal Society. He validated the phenomenon. He knew it was all a hoax, but he didn't want to discredit me in society's eyes. He was criticized and almost discredited as a scientist. I'd like to have him at the session. That is all true. I have a lot to say to him. He was an important person in my life, although I doubt he'll accept the invitation if my niece or I reach out to him. Tell me, Mr. Moore, can you get Mr. Crookes to come? Know that I won't lift a finger without his attendance. I'll try. He resides in Berkeley Square. Ask any coachman nearby and they'll tell you where to find him. Bring Mr. Crookes here and we can start the session. In the meantime, I'll begin the preparations.
You know that your selfishness will make my aunt die! I forget it. I'm outnumbered. I cannot fight against your greed, my aunt's stubbornness. May God's will be done.
I mean, to be fair, you have been perpetuating this whole thing along with her. You know, you're not innocent. But okay, alright, all that stuff about William Crookes and what he did, that is very true. The reason he would not discredit her is because the two of them were having an affair. And he was absolutely willing to risk his entire reputation for her. Which, not a great move, but, you know, very romantic. Very romantic. And his career did recover, and he is to this day remembered as a well-renowned scientist who gave us many inventions. Alright, let's go see him.
I'll inform Mr. Crookes. What did you say your name was?
Moore. Patrick Moore. I love how Patrick always introduces himself as though he were James Bond.
Mr. Crookes, a gentleman named Patrick Moore wishes to see you. He will attend you right away.
Thank you. Oh, he really will. I thought I could poke around here. Yes, what do you want? My name is Patrick Moore. I am a university professor. What field? Medicine. Nice to meet you. Although I come to you as, a metapsychic researcher. An interesting pseudoscience. Certainly interesting, but unproductive, if I may express my opinion. Mr. Moore, I am aware that I am known for having been involved in these matters in former times, but all that belongs to the past. I don't know how I could help you. I do not want to bore you with details, so I'll be brief. I am completing a machine that will be a breakthrough in the field of metapsychics. You have my attention. Continue. But I need several elements to carry it out. One of them is a sample of ectoplasm that the medium Florence Cook could provide me. Florence? Did you say Florence Cook? Yes. I will save you some time, Mr. Moore. Florence Cook is a fraud. I also doubt her mediumistic abilities, although I have my reasons to give her the benefit of the doubt. That is your choice. Don't say nobody warned you. She asked me to beg you attend the session. She won't do it if you're not present. No. I know that... I am not getting involved in this, sir. I have been nominated for the Nobel Prize several times, and I was recently knighted. The last thing I need is to be associated with these matters again. I'm sorry I can't help you. But in the name of science, Mr. Crookes. Metaphysics is not a science. Chemistry and physics, those are sciences. It won't take much of your time. I've already given you my refusal, Mr. Moore. Please don't insist. Aren't you curious to find out if Florence Cook isn't a fraud, after all? I thoroughly investigated Florence Cook, Mr. Moore. Oh, I bet you did. And believe me, that woman has no extraordinary powers. However, your conclusion about her was quite the opposite. It's very complicated. You wouldn't understand. They were smashing. I didn't want to be too harsh on them because it was... Let's just say it was dishonest act and jeopardized my credibility as a scientist. I could bring you the blueprints of the machine building. Yes, you've already told me about it. Runs on ectoplasm. Well, not exactly. Spare me the details, Mr. Moore. Remember, you are talking to a scientist. You said you are interested in the world of metaphysical psychics.
I also told you it was completely unproductive. May I give you some advice? Don't waste your time investigating these matters. You are young. Do you want to end up like those nutcases from class, believing they've summoned Jews on this month? Cleopatra, St. John the Baptist,
Ludwig von Beethoven.
oh, of course, Beethoven.
I've had contact with an entity.
Are you running out of arguments to try to convince me, Mr. Moore? As I've already told you, I cannot help you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to review the speech I'll be giving at the headquarters of the British Confederation of Scientific Societies. Yeah. I only have a short time before the coachman picks me up. Good luck to you, Mr. Moore.
Florence Cook is dying.
What's wrong with her?
She didn't specify what illness it is, but her life expectancy is months, weeks. She wants to see you before she dies.
This emotional racketeering? Is that your final desperate argument to try to convince me?
No, I already exhausted all my resources trying unsuccessfully to convince you a moment ago. I'm just conveying Miss Cook's words to you.
I'll be frank with you, Mr. Moore. My mind is split in two halves. One is controlled by reason, and to it I owe becoming a respected scientist. Spirituality consumes the other half. That's why I became interested in the afterlife. I wanted answers, and that led me to investigate Florence Cook's case. At that time, she was considered the most authentic medium in London. The investigation lasted longer than necessary because we realized we enjoyed each other's company. We fell in love, Mr. Moore. I concluded that Florence's powers were nothing but a hoax. It was obvious that Katie King was her, although no one else realized it. But even so, I was so in love with Florence that I wanted to cover her for her and admitted that everything was real. Those claims took my credibility, even my career was at risk. Florence didn't want everything to end like that, so in an act of what I now see as bravery, she ended our relationship. She broke my heart. I haven't seen her since then. And if what you say about her illness is true...
It is, believe me.
In that case, my heart would break again if I were to see her in that state. I were to hold on to the memory I have of Florence. Full of life, full of light. Do you understand me?
But she...
Please respect my decision.
Just apologize to Florence for me.
Taking a liking to you, Mr. Moore. You'll be welcome in this house anytime, even if I'm absent. Feel free to consult my library whenever you want. Do you know Duchesne?
Of course.
I have several first editions on that second shelf. You'll find them interesting. It's been a pleasure meeting you. Good afternoon. Alright, well, that wasn't as successful as we would have hoped. Alright, well, let's poke around in here. Let's look at everything we got to look at.
Juniors.
That's all you have to say. More.
Fatigue is starting to take its toll on me. Dark circles under my eyes are becoming more and more evident.
Yeah, you're not looking great, buddy.
There is an envelope inside that tray.
There is.
It's for the coachman. It contains a card with the address Mr. Crookes will give his speech. Don't lay a hand on it, if you please.
Oh, okay. Alright. Not quite sure how we do it just yet, but we swap that envelope with ours somehow and get him to go to Florence's.
The warmth is appreciated after spending the whole day walking the cold streets of London.
Really, we can't say anything about this weird painting up here.
Camellias. I no longer need to watch the clock with the university board to decide whether or not to close the Department of Metapsychic Research. Beatrice is right. If we manage to make the Box of Revelations work, we will prove to everyone the existence of the spectral world.
Daisies. Not a flower guy, I see, other than just identifying them.
The library is quite a treasure. It contains volumes that would be the dream of any antiquarian.
Excuse me. Yes?
I need Mr. Crookes to accompany me to that session. I understand, but I'm sorry I can't help you. There's nothing you can do for me, right? Just a simple maid, sir. Couldn't you convince Mr. Crookes? That would be meddling in Mr. Crookes's affairs. It would exceed my duties. Where are they expecting Mr. Crookes? He has to give a speech to the British Confederation of Scientific Societies. The coachman should be arriving soon. Carry on with your work. I apologize for interrupting. Thank you, sir. Can be quick in swapping the envelopes. Mine contains nothing. I don't see the point. Oh, good point. All right. I don't think this is gonna help us. All right, we need Florence's address. No, this is a photo album. That's not gonna have anything, I don't think. Nope. Well, let's check Florence's house again. And see if they can grab, like, a card or something. There are several business cards on the tray. You can take one if you wish. Thank you. Oh, perfect. That's what we needed. Okay, we put this in the envelope. I'll put Florence Cook's business card in the envelope. And now we go switch the envelopes. No, actually, you know what? I'm going to poke around in Florence's house some more because I missed that and there might be other things. This painting reminds me of The Hill of Dreams by Arthur Machen. These are some of the scientists who investigated the phenomenon of Katie King. Mr. Crookes is the one in the middle. So he is. You don't want to identify those flowers? An 1873 portrait of Katie King. She looks very young. Oh. That appears to be everything in here. Boy, we are closing down locations left and right here. So Mr. Crookes said to consult his library? Exactly. Actually, I need to clean it. Those old books keep attracting dust. By the way, is Mr. Crookes still at home? Aye, the coachman hasn't come up yet. Yep, you just keep cleaning. I can be quick and swap the envelopes. Time is now. Don't mind me. I think I heard a horse carriage. The coachman must be waiting at the door. Oh, Mr. Moore, I see you're still here. How do you find my little library? Very interesting. I could spend all day perusing each and every volume. But I must be off. Thank you for your hospitality. It's been a pleasure meeting you, Mr. Moore. May we see each other again one of these days. Sooner than you think. Good afternoon, Mr. Crookes. Good afternoon, Mr. Moore. Now, where did I leave that envelope with the address of the British Confederation of Scientific Societies headquarters? That sure is a tongue twister. Oh yes, on the tray. Okay, alright. I'm looking at the time, and we've only got 5 more minutes, and I have a feeling if we go back to Florence's right now, it's gonna kick off a whole big thing. So we're just gonna come right back here to our home base, check out what's happening here. Oh nope, it just keeps saying what we need. Oh yeah, Silas Bennett, that's the last one. he wasn't even in his office, so I think after we get the ectoplasm, we will open up something with that. He'll be there when we go back, or that other guy, the one we talked to, whose name I forget, will point us in the right direction. But yes, I think this was a pretty good session. We're moving this along. We can't have too much more to go. We have 1.5 pieces for the Box of Revelations, and there's really nothing else indicating there's too much more to this story other than, I guess, figuring out what the heck did happen to Professor Ward. But that might just kind of resolve itself. Kind of lost that thread of the plot, actually, now that I think about it. We just kind of keep mentioning, oh yeah, Professor Ward, we don't know what happened to him. He's missing. He might be a thief? I don't think he is, though. The people that know him best are like, I can't believe it. He'd never do that. And even Beatrice said something like he must have had a good reason if he did do it. That is for a later time. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I love having y'all along on my adventures. And I will see you next time. Have a good one.